We are back with a brand new championship from the guys over at Team Hard. This is the Autobrite Direct Touring Car Legends. We're going to be going racing over 8 rounds, which are going to see us crisscross across the globe. Today though, we are in Hockenheim for the first 2 races of the championship. These cars may look like they've come straight out of the 1980s, but they've all been fettled, they've all been modified, and they are ridiculously quick. The fastest lap today is going to be in the order of a 1 minute 51, with average speeds topping 90 miles an hour over the 2 14-lap races we have today. Let's take a lap of this circuit on board the pole sitter of SLR Lancer in the Alfa Romeo 155. So across the start-finish line to start our lap here at Hockenheim, heading in towards turn number 1. This fast corner is really easy to run out towards the exit, clip that curb and see the cars bobbling off towards the outside. Now we're heading down to the first real braking zone of the lap under the Xbox One bridge. You're looking for one of the green sections on the outside of the circuit to mark your braking point. Hard on the brakes down until the second gear, nice and tight towards the apex, don't run too far out towards the outside, then smash the apex on your left hand side. Now we're heading down the longest part of the circuit towards the bottom hairpin of turn number 4. This is where we'll see lots of slipstream overtaking, drivers locking themselves into the rear of other cars, but you need to stay over towards the left hand side of the track to set yourself up for the braking zone. Now we're there, you need to spot your braking marker. It's really easy to run way too late into this corner and throw yourself off into the outside of the circuit. Get a nice exit out of that hairpin. Now we're heading towards a fast right-hander, which is going to set us up in front of the Mercedes-Benz Grandstand. That right-hander is absolutely flat out. Again, really easy to miss your braking points into this left-hander. Use all of the curb in the middle. The cars lift up as these are sprung really stiff. Now we're heading past the drag strip for the first time. Again, it's ridiculously easy to try and run too far out on the curb and bobble yourself off into the barriers. This right-hander is really easy to catch the gravel on the outside. You can see a lot of drivers doing that and a lot of drivers losing places as we're heading towards the stadium section. This is where Vettel lost it in the German Grand Prix a few years ago, but we're not going to lose it. We're going to keep the nose really tight to the inside of that hairpin, use all of the curb to maximise the line, get as straight as line as possible. Now into the final couple of corners, watch the drag strip on the outside. That curb is ridiculously high. Then you want to take a nice smooth line through the final corner, apply the power, and that completes a lap of Hockenheim. So before we go racing, we need to find out where everyone is going to be starting on the grid. So after a 20-minute qualifying session, this is how it looks. SLR Lancer and SLR Machine Head share the front row, pair of Alfa Romeos up at the front. First to the forward with Brother Stig with EXE Sasa and the RTL Alfa Romeo on row 2. Row 3 is all Sierras, the Racing Nova and X-Ray Ventham. Row 4 is the other RTL Alfa Romeo with Smokescreen and Snapping Lamb in the first of the BMWs in 8th. Row 5 is Night Mike Rules and Faster Alex. Row 6 is Karting Ben and X-Kidders in the lime green Sierra. It's going to be hard to miss that car out on circuit. Row 7, Pernag Racing and Celtic Box, a pair of AM graduates from the Touring Car Series. Row 8 is This Mark and PMR Plato in the Soul Volvo. Row 9 is FER Carl and W8N Tom. And round out the field is Kinky Cowboys on P19. We're ready to go for race number 1 of the pros. Lights out, away we go. The pair of Alphas off the start. Off the front, get a good start. Sassa's up there into 3rd place ahead of Bradders. And it looks like Smokescreen's going to try and have a crack at the Sierra. Heading in towards turn number 1. Couple of cars just bobbling on the curbs as we run down towards the first of the big braking zones. Look at the 19 car of Smokescreen sat there in 5th position. They've got Nova in the Alaman Sierra around the outside of them. But the Alpha's going to get a good run. Maybe it's an Alpha 1, 2, 3, 4. It's definitely a 1, 2, 3 to start off with. The Alphas seem to be the car to choose at this point in the season. Heading down towards the main braking point, the hairpin for the first time. It's Lancer that leads. Machine Head second. This is the leader, 198. This is SLR Lancer. This is their debut in a Team Hard online racing series, and it's going really well so far for the SLR boys, as you've got the Alphas tripping over each other behind. This is Bradders and Sasa going for a battle into the final podium place. Heading through the flat-out right-hander as you head into the Mercedes Stadium section for the first time. They're still side by side, but the Sierra's got the inside line. A little bit of a lock-up, a little bit of contact. Bradders cements 3rd position, but it looks like Ventum and Night Mike are trying to get into this one as well. Riding on board with Nova, heading towards the stadium for the first time of asking. This corner's really easy to get wrong. It's really easy to drop a wheel into the gravel and force another driver through. Ventum there getting really close to the back of the Alan Mann car as they head into the final hairpin for the first time. it's the SLR cars that lead. So Lancer from Machine Head, Bradders is third, Sasa fourth, Nova's there in fifth place with Venter very close behind, and Night Mike as well. We're riding on board with Mike as he head into the final corners. Don't count out Karting Ben behind as well on the BMW. These guys battling might bring the fight a little bit closer. You got Snapping Lamb as well. He's got a good start as well. He's up into what looks like 8th position as they head across the line. Now we've got the Alaman car, the Alaman racing car versus the RTL Alfa Romeo smokescreen. Heading through turn number 1. The Alaman car hits the curb on the inside. The Alfa's way wide on the exit of turn number 1. That's probably going to allow the Alaman car to get a little bit of a run. Heading in towards the first braking zone of the lap. You see the Sierra closes up on the Alfa, but the Alfa's going to use its straight line speed advantage, its drive out of the corner to get away from the Sierra. The Alfa's the only four-wheel drive car in the field. The rest are rear-wheel drive apart from the Volvo. The Volvo's the only front-wheel drive car in the field as well. Doesn't really, hasn't been favoured well by the pros. They've not really liked it. It's not qualified that well. It's down towards the back of the field, but we're looking now at the Alaman car heading into the hairpin for the first time. Will he fancy a dive on smoke screen in the Alfa Romeo? You see a lot of smoke, a lot of tyre smoke there from his teammate Sasser. He's trying to get on terms with the SLR boys. But smokescreen, the RTL car's just about held on, and he's probably now going to have a crack at Bradders. You see that gap has closed really quickly. So Bradders might not have got a decent run out of that hairpin. So battle of the BMWs. This is Lamb versus Ben. You've got the Sierra of Kidders behind as well, so don't count him out getting into this fight if these two start scrapping too hard. Lambs are a little bit wide. That might allow Ben to throw it down the inside. Not quite. BM just about gets the drive out of the corner. Ben, though, is under pressure from Kidders in the Sierra behind him. Sierra is definitely the favoured car in this field. There's quite a few of them out there. The BM's probably one of the quicker cars out there as well in the right hands. But it doesn't seem like anyone's been able to get a decent setup working for it. The Sierras, they're going pretty well. The Alphas are going even better. Looking at Ben in the 57 car, he's in a bit of a sandwich there between Lamb and Kidders. He's run a little bit wide, used a little bit too much of the curb. That's probably going to allow the Sierra to have a decent run through that corner, get into the slipstream for the first braking zone. You see the Sierra locks up, gets a little bit closer under braking, gets the power down. Compared to Ben, he's a little bit sideways. So the Sierra shows the nose around the outside. No room the in just there, but this is going to allow the Sierra into the slipstream and potentially to throw a move into that bottom hairpin. You see the legs though. The BMW definitely has the legs on the Sierra heading down the straight. It's probably a little bit longer gearing. These cars do have adjustable gear ratios, so you can change the gear in each of these cars. Lock up from the Beamer. He's just clipped the grass. He's gone sideways. He's lost it. Will he be able to keep it on the track? Just about. He's not going to be able to keep the place though. The Sierra runs him out of room, runs him out of road. There's no quarter given there. The 21 car versus the 57. Benny's coming around the outside of the fast right-hander, sorry, into the braking zone into front of the Mercedes chicane. Uses all of the curb, a little bit of contact, but just about gets the position there. On board with Ben, he's a little bit wide, and that's allowed the Sierra to sweep across his nose and take the position off him. A little bit of a slide though from the Sierra as he head in towards the stadium section. It's really easy to mess this corner up. Looking at Ben, just about inch perfect on the line to head into the final hairpin. This is where Vettel threw it off in the lead of the German Grand Prix a few years ago, and the Sierra's chucked it a little bit wide. That's allowed Ben to come back through to take the position back. So back for the fight for fourth place now. Bradders back under pressure from smokescreen in the Alfa Romeo. Massive lockup, little bit of contact there. Riding on board with Nova behind. He's ready to pick up the pieces. Should this fall in front of him, just about pulls a little bit more pace on the Alfa and the Ford in front. As he heads to the stadium section again, you've got Bradders in the Texaco Ford versus smokescreen in the RTL Alfa, and the Nova in the Alaman red and gold Sierra. The Sierra just shows its nose on the Alfa Romeo. Bradders has a little bit more breathing room. The Alfa doesn't quite like that stadium section as much as the rear-wheel drive Sierras. Back on board with Nova, heading into the final couple of corners. Again, Nova shows the nose, maybe a little bit of a bump and run there. Doesn't quite work for him. Nova's a little bit wide. That's probably going to allow the Alfa to get away. Maybe think about having a move on Bradders, but no, the Alfa's still in the sight of Nova in the Sierra, heading into turn number 1. The Alfa's run a little bit wide, bobbles over the curb again. He's going to be careful not to pick up a track limits penalty if he carries on doing that. but the 666 car is all in the mirrors of the Alfa Romeo. He's around the outside of the Alfa into the braking zone at turn 2. Will he be able to put the power down? Not quite as good as the four-wheel drive Alfa. It's impressive for a rear-wheel drive car to keep with the Alfa in the acceleration zones, but Nova just about doing enough to stay in touching distance of the top 4, maybe get himself up into a top 5 position, heading into the second of the hairpins now. Hard on the brakes for the trio of them. The 19 car dives down the inside of Bradders. He's not going to get that stopped. That's going to allow the Alaman car to come through. Has he been able to keep out the barriers? Just about. He rejoins behind the pair of Sierras, but Bradders now has a little bit of breathing room in 4th place. Maybe he can start getting his head down, try and pull a gap back to the Alfa Romeo that's in front of him for 3rd place. So it's not going too well for Smokescreen now. He's got Night Mike and Venton behind him. Another pair of Sierras to worry about. He's already lost places to 2 of them. He's about to lose positions to 2 more as the 61 car of Mike is about to throw it down the inside of turn number 2. Just about gets the car stopped. The Alfa, though, is really good out of this corner. You can see he's just searching for a gap. He's chucking it around the outside. Maybe a little bit 3 wide there. Venton thought about it, thought better of it. But the Alfa's got decent top-end speed. It's one of the highest PI cars in the field. 694 versus, I believe, 675 for the Sierras. But the Alfa is side-by-side, heading into the hairpin braking. Will he be able to get the car stopped this time? He didn't last time round. He's learned his lesson there. He's just got the car stopped. But Mike has got the overlap, and he's got the position back on him. But this is where the driver of the Alfa Romeo plays dividends. It's into the fast right-hander. He's going to be able to stay side-by-side with the Sierra and maybe throw it under braking and hold that position. But he's just in front now of Mike in the Sierra. That Hoonigan livery looks fantastic on the Sierra. The Alfa's run a little bit wide, though. Sierra's dived down the inside. He's got the position on Smokescreen, so the Sierra of Night Mike is up a position. But the Alfa's got fantastic drive, heading out of the corner in towards the stadium section again. This fast right-hander is pretty much flat in the right setup car. The 61 car is definitely well set up. Oh, there's contact between them. The RTL car's gone off. That's Mike up in position. Venton's got the pair of them. Awesome situational awareness there from Venton to get 2 positions and pick up the scraps from the pair that were fighting in front. No one has been able to get near the pace of this guy. SLR Lancer is going to take the first victory of the season, the first win of the year. He sets the fastest lap of a 51.0. Absolutely amazing pace to take the first win of the season in the Alfa Romeo. His teammate Machine Head's going to come home in 2nd place. So it's an SLR 1-2. 3rd is Sata, making it an Alfa Romeo 1-2-3. Bradders holds on for 4th with Nova 5th. Smokescreen ended up 6th with Ventum and Night Mike 7th and 8th. Snapping Lamb and Carting Ben rounded out the top 10. The first cars are Ford or Alphas down in 9th position. 11th was Kidders and 12th was Faster Alex. So the next race is going to be a full reverse grid. That means the Volvo of PMR Plato is going to be on pole position with this mark in the Sierra on 2nd. FER Carl and Pronag Racing are going to hold row 2 with row 3 and all Alfa Romeo affair of W810 Tom and Celtic Fox. So we're ready to go for race number 2. Volvo on pole, Sierra in 2nd, and all Sierra row 2. Alfa row 3, we're off and racing. The Alfa's got a really good start there. W810 Tom in the Carspun car's gone right down the inside, maybe into 2nd place. Contact there between Carl and Tom. The Carspun car's off. Carl, though, leads this race in the RCIB Insurance Sierra. It's a massive battle, though, for 2nd place there. Taking a look a little bit further back, it looks like it's Pronag got himself into 2nd. It's everyone else for 3rd. Celtic Fox looks like he's just got himself through into 3rd place, in the Martini Alfa Romeo as he heads down the main straight. For the first time of asking, it's Carl that leads, Pronag 2nd, Celtic Fox 3rd, with I believe that's this mark in the white Sierra on the outside in 4th place, with the Carspun car 5th. Is that Kidders that's got himself up in the lime green car as well into 6th place? That's Carting Ben, he's there in 4th place. Fantastic start from outside the top 10 there for Ben as they head through the hairpin for the first time. Lots of contact, couple of cars there spat out towards the outside. Celtic Fox, though, challenging for 2nd place on Pronag as he head through the fast right-hander into the Mercedes Stadium for the first time of asking. Carlo just about holds the lead. Pronag holds off a challenge from Celtic Fox, but Ben has got himself up into 3rd place there already. Going on board with the BMW driver, the Alfa Romeo has just got down the inside. As Kidders, though, in the 21 car, throws it down the inside of the BM as well. Brave move there, but it didn't quite come off. He's going to have to slot back into position. Heading through with a 4th gear right-hander into the stadium for the first time. It's still Carl that leads, Pronag second. You've got Celtic Fox in third with Karting Ben fourth. Ben just gets into the back of the Alfa Romeo as he heads into the braking for the hairpin. Heading through the final complex for the first time. Ben just has to slot into position now. He's defending a little bit from Kidders. That looks like you've got Cowboy there and Tom trying to get involved. On board with Cowboy, contact there with Kidders. He uses all the grass and a little bit more. Kidders has to go towards the escape route, but just hangs on to the position. You've got the Cosmic Alfa Romeo right in the back of the Hornet Sierra as he head down the main straight. Celtic Fox, so looks like he's going for a move for the lead on Pronag. Correction, that's a move for second place he's trying. Heading into the first corner for the second time. Ben's still there in fourth place. Fox just dives towards the outside though. He shows the nose into the turn number 2 for the second time. You've got Ben down the inside of Celtic Fox going for a podium position. Doesn't get the power down, and that's going to leave him under threat from Kidders behind him. Looks like a little bit of contact between Fox and Pronag. Oh, Ben's off. There's another car going wide as well. That looked like Faster Alex in the other BMW. But all of this fighting is just allowing Carl to get away at the front in the Sierra. Celtic Fox, though, is not thinking about getting away. He's thinking about getting second place, which he's done down the inside of Pronag, heading into braking for the hairpin for the second time. Both are way late on the brakes. They just missed catching the back of Carl in the Sierra for the lead. Pronag, though, right on the rear bumper, so that might be a change for first position in the next lap or so. Celtic Fox, thanks to a bit of wheel spin, has dropped off the back of that fight now. On board with Pronag, this is how he's going for the lead. He's thrown it around the outside in front of the Mercedes-Benz grandstand. Carl runs a little bit wide. Pronag looks to the cutback. Oh, Carl's got a little bit of a slide on that to go at Pronag down the inside. It's a brave move to try and throw it down the inside here. The side-by-side heading past the drag strip under the Xbox One gantry and heading through the right-hander before the stadium section. Pronag's already got the move done heading into the stadium. These are the SLR cars making their way through. They got Brad Stig to fight with. They're already in towards the top 10 position. You got Snapping Lamb and Karting Ben after that off, trying to recover back. That looks like Night Mike in front, who's right on board with Machine Head, who was second in the first race. His teammate Lancer behind him. Lancer won the first race. They're both off the back of the grid. The dispatching Aventum there in the Sierra as they head in towards the stadium section where Vettel threw it off during the German Grand Prix. Lancer goes to the inside of his teammate. You've got to think Machine Head isn't really going to fight it that much. Lancer was a little bit quicker than him in that first race, around about 2-3 tenths, split the two teammates at SLR. That's Ben going wide as well, so he's had to go towards the escape route on the drag strip. Thank God it's not wet, otherwise he'd be way into that barrier, but Lancer gets in front of Machine Head. The two SLR cars swap in position. Now you've got to think these guys are going to start working together and push their way through the field. Snapping Lamb in the BMW is their next target. Lancer already going on the offensive. A little bit further in front, you've got Cowboy going down the inside. Oh, that's Carl now. He's been disposed into third place. We didn't see how Kidders managed to get through to second. Kidders having a look at Pronag at the front. Cowboy taking a lot of grass 4 wide down the main straight. Faster Alex is getting involved in this one as well. So 4 cars now for third place. Night Mike's just got himself in front. Alex is there in 4th place. Carl's got himself in 5th, and Cowboy has been shuffled down the order despite that massive corner cut. But Pronag's got Kidders now for the lead. Kidders is trying to take the lead off Pronag. It's Sierra 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Looking at Night Mike in 3rd position. Alex is the top BMW in 4th place with Cowboy in 5th. As they head through the fast right-hander, you've got Cowboy and Carl going side by side for 5th place. Cowboy in the Hornet Sierra trying to get his car up into 5th place. It looks like Kidders and Pronag now going for the lead. We're on board with Night Mike. Contact between the pair of them. They're a little bit slow heading through there. That's allowed Mike to catch up, heading through towards the stadium section. This is lap number 3. You've got Pronag now. He's got Kidders around the outside of him. That'll give Kidders the inside for this hairpin. It looks like the move's already been done. Pronag's lost 1 position. He's lost 2 positions because Mike's got past him. He might be about to lose a 3rd position as he's not got the power down. That's allowed Alex to throw it down the inside of him. Alex is through to 3rd place. Pronag's off towards the grass. So Pronag's down 1, 2, 3 positions in the space of a couple of corners, and he might be about to lose a 4th position now as Cowboy and Carl are in this one. You've got the SLR cars up there as well. Lancer's got himself up already. But it's only one of the SLR cars. Where's Machine Head gone? I'll contact their Pronag sideways, but it's only one of the SLR Alfa Romeos has managed to get towards the head of the field. The second one is MIA at the moment. Not sure where they've gone. Look a little bit further back. Still can't see him, so maybe he's had a little bit of damage somewhere. But Pronag now under pressure from SLR Lancer throws it towards the inside of the second corner, and the driver Alfa Romeo, he gets it done. These SLR cars have been ridiculously quick throughout this night's racing. Oh, Pronag's backwards, he's almost lost it there. Car off on the grass behind, but the SLR car, the first of them, is up into the top 6 from the back of the grid. A little bit further back, there's a massive pack of cars here. I think we've got the second SLR car in there as well, maybe. Right towards the back of that, but Pronag is losing positions, hand over fist now. As Celtic Fox way outbrakes himself, loses a handful of positions there. Pronag, though, he's falling down the order. That's Sasa in the RTL car, and Bradders from towards the back of the grid as well. Bradders got top 5 in the first race, so he's going to be throwing it towards the top 10 at the moment in this. Just saw at the back of the shop there, Machine Head trying to get himself up the order, so maybe he's recovering after a bit of an accident. On board with Pronag now, you've got contact there, but oh, that's Smokescreen. There's contact there with Smokescreen. And it looks like maybe still kicking off there. And, there's a slow Alfa Romeo. Let's see what happened. We're on board with Ben now. So this is going to get a good run. That's Celtic Fox and Sasa have gone way too deep into that corner. The 19 car, sorry, that one's not Sasa. That is Smokescreen. And then contact between Smokescreen and Pronag puts them out of it. And it's going to kick off even further behind. This is going to give us a better view now. This is on board with Carl. He's got a front row seat of everything that's going on here. So Sasa's gone wide. Comes back on the track. There's 3 wide through that corner. That's 3 into 1, doesn't go. And then that looks like Celtic Fox and Sasa have spun each other out there. Carl gets into that, but he just gets away with it. And Machine Head's in there as well. And now Machine Head recovering. He's up the inside of Nova, and he's got Karting Ben trying to follow him through. So these two trying to push through together. We've got to think the Alfa Romeo is going to start gapping him. That car has been so much faster than everything else out there at the moment. These guys running in the 52s. The majority of the rest of the field running in the 53s or the 54s. So to get a 52, even a 51 around this circuit, which the pair of them got in the first race. But now Ben and Nova side by side, 3 wide into that hairpin. Doesn't normally work, but the SLR car's just about got the run out of that corner. Gets the power down, gets the positions on Ben and Nova. So Machine Head's recovery is off and going. He's got the first couple of cars already, and now he's got his sights set on, I believe that's Smokescreen in front. A little bit further in front, this is Sasa and Cowboy going at it into turn number 1. The Alfa runs way wide, the Sierra runs wide as well. Lots of track limits there as Ben clips the curb and he almost throws it. The 19 car throwing it towards the inside, maybe going towards the outside. That'll be a brave move, locks up, doesn't quite get it done to Smokescreen, has to run wide, loses one position, may lose another one, but the driver of Alfa Romeo just about saves them as they hold on to the position. You've got Smokescreen, Ventum and Cowboy there in the Hornets gold car, and he's got Machine Head now in that one as well. So the second of the SLR cars getting into this fight. The 178 on a recovery drive. He's got past Cowboy, he's got past Nova. You see his teammate is up in that group of cars in front. Ventum losing the back end of that Sierra. Now the next target for Machine Head is going to be Smokescreen in the 19 car. The 19 RTL Alfa Romeo in front, though. It looks like his teammate might be about to challenge for the lead. Nova and Ventum behind. They're trying to fend off Snapping Lamb and Karting Ben, who's been on a bit of a recovery drive. On board with Ventum as he's got the other Sierra around the outside of him. Awesome move there by Nova if he can hold that off. You don't really see them going too wide into this corner. They're trying, it's 3 wide. Just about hanging on. Ventum has to back out. Snapping Lamb gets a position there. As he head in towards the stadium section, you see Machine Head is trying to get another position there on Smokescreen. Our contact there between Ben and Ventum as they head out of the stadium section into the final couple of corners. Smokescreen versus Machine Head. This is stopping the second of the... Oh, massive slide there from Smokescreen in the Alfa Romeo. He's going to have the SLR Alpha bearing down on him into the second corner. Hard on the brakes. The SLR car throws it to the inside. That looks like another position gain. That was a pretty easy move. And that puts the second SLR car up into the top 5. But Smokescreen's come back at him with a superior drive out of the corner. But now the SLR Alpha is going to have the draft heading down in towards the major hairpin. That SLR car looks like it's been geared slightly longer compared to the other guys, so he's got decent top speed. Expect to see him throw it under the brakes, not quite Smokescreen locks up. That allows the SLR Machine Head car to get the drive and get side by side, heading in towards the fast right-hander. And you've got to think the 178 car is about to move up into 4th position. And they do. 4th position as they head in front of the Mercedes grandstand. So that's both SLR cars now in the top 4. On board with Nightmite. This is the battle for the lead between him and Kidders. Little bit of contact there. Kidders goes sideways. That's probably going to allow Bradders around the outside. He thought he was going to go down the middle, but he didn't. He threw it around the outside. So Bradders now up into 2nd place. He's going for 1st place on Kidders. Kidders just about hangs on. Nightmite's gone down the inside. You've got the 2 SLR cars getting into this one as well. Kidders just hanging on for the lead, but Nightmite is trying to go around the outside. Bradders is on the inside here. Bradders moves up to 2nd place. A little bit of a slide on through the curb. On board with Nightmite. A little bit of contact maybe. And Bradders, he's up into 2nd place, but he's using all of the curb and a little bit more, a little bit of a slide. Might just be able to hold on to 2nd place. Drag race towards the line. Bradders moves up into 2nd place, but look at the gap that Kidders has got now for the lead. And you've got the 2 SLR cars getting into this as well. Lancer throwing it down the inside of Alex at turn 1 in the BMW. So that BMW is about to tumble down the order. He's about to lose 1 place, maybe a 2nd. But Nightmite is now trying to get past Bradders to try and get back on terms with Kidders. He's in the lead. Alex, though, senses the danger. He throws it towards the inside of Nightmite. Doesn't make the move stick. Doesn't get the power down. Lancer's throwing it around the outside. Nightmite a little bit of a slide on. This is where the power of the Alfa Romeo pays dividends. The pair of them can drag each other down the straight and get themselves up the order. It's 4 wide, heading down towards the major hairpin. Alex just has the position gain. Alex is in 3rd place, but he's got the SLR cars in front of him. Nightmite's got out of that battle. He doesn't want to see any more of that. The 2 SLR cars have thrown it down the inside, and they're both now up into the top 4 from the back of the grid. 18th and 19th. Lancer and Machine Head are 3rd and 4th. You've got to think that these guys can challenge for a win. Maybe fighting out in the last couple of laps between each other. But Lancer now getting on terms with Bradders in front. A little bit further on, he's right in the slipstream under that rear wing of the Sierra. Throws it to the inside of turn 2. He's loved this move as he's fought his way through the field. But he just about gets 2nd position. On Bradders' Stig there in the Texaco Ford. As they head down the main straight, you've got to see Machine Head now is probably going to try and throw the similar sort of move. But Lancer's focus now is on that green Sierra in front of him. Kidders versus Lancer for the win. Last couple of laps here. Lancer throws it down the inside by the look of it. So he's not wasting any time. He's already side by side with Kidders for the lead. So he's wasted no time in getting that move done. Uses the superior drive of the Alfa Romeo, that 4-wheel drive power to throw it down the inside as they head through the fast right-hander towards the Mercedes grandstand, and he's got to the lead from the back of the grid. Lancer takes the lead of this race. His teammate there in 4th place. Is this going to be another SLR 1-2 riding on board with the new race leader from the back of the grid? The Screw Loose Racing Alfa Romeo is taking the lead, but behind, it looks like he's getting very close for 2nd place. Kidders is trying to fight off Bradders' Stick behind in the Texaco Ford. Bradders, though, fancies a run at 2nd place. He's side by side with Kidders as they head in towards the hairpin. Bradders just about gets the place done. Kidders can't answer that. The lime green Sierra doesn't have an answer to the black Texaco Ford. You can see the Ford's already lost a headlight in this battle, so he's not been kind with any of the drivers. He's been overtaken. But Machine Head now is trying to get himself into 3rd place, so it will be a straight fight between Bradders and Machine Head for 2nd place here. But the final podium place is still up for grabs here. Machine Head throwing it towards the outside, maybe gets the cut back. All 3 of those cars, Kidders, Machine Head and Nightmite, using the curb to their advantage, side by side into the turn number 2. A little bit of contact. Kidders moves to cover, can't get it covered off though. Machine Head was already there. Locks up, and he's lost the position to Machine Head. He's also lost the position to Nightmite. So awesome move there by Machine Head. Is this a sign of things to come? The SLR cars won off the back of the grid. They won race 1. They started last for race number 2. SLR Lancer comes across the line to win round number 2 of the Autobrite Direct Touring Car Legends Series. His teammate's going to come home in 2nd place. Looking at the full results, the podium's completed by Bradders' Stick in the Ford. Nightmite and Kidders complete the top 5, making it 3 Fords in the top 5. Smokescreen in 6th in the Alfa Romeo. Faster Alex is the top BMW in 7th. X-Ray Ventham in 8th. Snapping Lamb in 9th. Kinky Cowboys rounds out the top 10. Racing Nova, having run towards the front of the field, finishes 11th. Karting Ben, having run as high as 3rd, finishes this encounter in 4th. So after the first round of the championship, SLR Lancer leads with a perfect 150. Second is teammate Machine Head on 138. Third, a little bit further back in the first of the Fords, is Brad Stig on 124. Fourth is Night Mike on 105. Then a bigger gap to X-Ray Ventham on 93, with just a point in hand over the Alpha of EXE Sasa. So with 2 races in the book, the next time we'll see the pro guys is when we head to Mount Panorama in Australia for round 3 and round 4. Coming up next, we have the first 2 races for the AM and the Pro-Am drivers, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out.